Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A Mondays with Melanie show number 87. I am your host Ken Nickels, and I'm here with Melanie Nickels. She's the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl experts anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products. So today's going to be a big show. We've got a lot to go over, a lot to cover. We're going to talk about the big Day of Curls giveaway. That trip happened this weekend, and we're going to talk about that and a bunch of questions. So, how are you today, Melanie? Oh, we have a special guest.
We have a special guest. I'm good, and because hey, Jess, because you couldn't make it, I had to bring a special guest. Look, you've been replaced by a dog.
She's been replaced by a dog.
Miley's ready to go. She's got her little headset on.
Which, if she was going to be replaced by anybody, knowing Jess, that would be her choice. So, yeah, we were supposed to have a guest tonight to do Q&A with. That was Jessica McGinty, the founder of Jessie Curl Products.
We have Miss Miley Nickels from Raw Paws.
Yeah.
Yep,
she's here to answer. She's not a good she's not a very good conversationalist.
She's a good snuggler. She's a good snuggler. And it might be her last show, so we had to bring her back, and we had to bring her back.
Yeah, has not been a good couple
weeks. Say hi to
so,
everybody, Miley.
Yeah, so say hi. So anyway, yeah, so Jess was not able to make it. She out of the country, and she'll be busy having a procedure. So it looks like we're going to bring her in on October 22nd. No, it's 22nd, 23rd. Looks like the October 24th show, the Wednesday show, will be the one that we have Jessica on, and then next week we'll have another guest on Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but
it's a surprise.
It's always a surprise.
Everything's a surprise for me.
I'm big on surprises. I like that. So, all right. Well, let's talk about the Day of Curls giveaway. I'll for those of you who don't know, what we did is a couple of months ago with our Raw Curls hair products brand and our salon, the Raw Hair Organic Salon, we did kind of a combo giveaway, and it was the biggest giveaway that I ever saw in the curly world, and pretty much got confirmation of that. We did a month-long contest called the Day of Curls giveaway, and what we did is you were, without purchasing anything, you were able to enter into our contest, and we picked at random one winner who got an all-expense-paid trip to the Raw Hair Organic Salon in Naples, and she got a complete Day of Curls makeover of cut, color, product application, got some products, got a Raw Curls t-shirt to take home with her, and it was everything. We flew her in from the Columbus, Ohio area, which is actually really neat. I'm going to throw a little thing in there in our big Facebook group, which is the Curly Girl Support Group. We did a contest this week. I want to say Friday or Saturday night we did a contest, and for some anti-frizz products, and the winner was from the same city as our Day of Curls winner.
Gosh.
Oh boy!
People are gonna say it's rigged.
Right, it's rigged. It's rigged. But so it actually played out really well. So we maybe 2 months ago we picked a winner, and her name was Misty Richmond from Waverly, Ohio, a rural community, and we picked her at random, and this past Saturday, we flew her in. She got up about 1 o'clock in the morning so she could make her connections, and she got into Naples about maybe 9:30, and the airport is maybe I don't know, maybe half an hour or so from the salon. And I picked her up along with our video and podcast producer Rhett, who runs this show for us as well. And the two of us picked her up, and we filmed and did the audio of the entire day, from the time I picked her up at the airport till the time we got rid of her. So yeah, I brought her in, gave her a brief tour of Naples, showed her, she got a view of the beach so she could at least say she went to the beach. I took her to Vanderbilt Beach and said, there it is. But we can't stay, just like in National Lampoon's Vacation. Hey, can we go, Dad? Nope. So yeah, I showed her that, showed her the Ritz-Carlton all this right down the street from the salon, and gave her a brief tour. Showed her where Judge Judy lives.
Oh.
So we went to Bay Colony. Yeah, went to Bay Colony.
Okay.
And Yeah, snuck in through
She
the
almost
gates and
chickened
stuff.
out. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
She told me. Yeah, well, because she started thinking about this and realizing, she didn't really know these people that she's supposed to be supposedly meeting at the airport, and then you didn't have me come along, so it's just some strange guy that's picking her up.
Two strange guys.
Yeah, she probably didn't even know there was going to be two strange guys, really strange guys, we'll say. And anyway, yeah, so she started to kind of get creeped out, and I would too. But, when you think about it, it's like, well, 50,000 members of a group knew where she was going and when. Right. So I said, yeah, that wouldn't be very good marketing for us, if we kidnapped you and it was all a scam. So anyway, it turned out okay. Actually, it turned out fabulous. We had a great time, and the Raw Curls team did a wonderful job on her hair, and she was really happy. It was a great experience for everybody.
Right. Yeah. What did you all do? What did you guys consult, or did you have an idea in mind? I mean, how did it all play out?
No, well,
after I dropped her off from the airport. Mm-hmm. She had never seen me before, and of course, because we were filming in the airport a little bit, like doing some B-roll footage, I didn't look at my phone or my texts. So she's landed and she's sending texts, and I'm not responding.
Oh, great!
I can't believe I did that, but she did. She spotted me out. Probably because I was the best looking guy there. But,
yeah, because he was the only guy there.
Arguably.
Oh gosh. So anyway, well, it was kind of typical of what we do every day at the Raw Hair Organic Salon when we have a new client come in. So there was nothing prearranged other than I asked her a general, are you going to need color? Are you going to be needing highlights? Just so I would have some kind of an idea on time to book out of the salon, because, we were open for business. So that was all that I knew. And we had never seen her. So she came in, yes, there was actually a big welcoming with champagne and confetti, and that was fun.
That's right. I didn't even realize that was going to happen. I walked in the door and got covered in confetti.
Yeah, so that was
I didn't get any champagne, though. I don't know what
No, it wasn't for you. It was for our guest. And she was the curl queen for the day. So we had a curl queen sash.
That's right.
And a button that said it's all about you.
And it was.
And I was going to do a tiara, but then I didn't want to mess up her hair.
No.
So anyway, we consulted and discussed, what she was wanting or not wanting, just like we would with anybody. She did not want a lot of length cut off, so we had to honor that. And her hair, honestly, was not in bad condition, so that was interesting because a lot of times when people come in, well, and the reason is because she's been having Diva curly cuts already. So her regular stylist is Diva trained, and so she's already been having curly cuts. So, it wasn't like this train wreck that I see a lot of times coming in, and I have to do a complete transformation. So it was fun because, of course, this was interesting for people to see. The difference, where there are things that I could still tweak in the haircut that she was struggling with. Some volume on the top, some coverage where hair was, clumping not exactly how she wanted, or separating not exactly how she wanted. So and some balancing from, side to side that I could tweak with the haircut and make it even better. So that's what I did. And I ended up doing the Raw Curls cut that I teach in training, where we do dry cutting and wet cutting, and that's how I was able to achieve her final finished look. And the girls did a root touch up with her color, and then some highlights and lowlights to accent, and it was beautiful. She was a beautiful curl queen.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
she was.
So I think Rhett is going to be sharing some of that.
Yeah, he like I said, we recorded the whole thing. The entire day.
Yeah, well, that's
you're not going to show it all.
No, we're going to get bits
It'd be
and
like
pieces.
As long as a Titanic movie.
Yeah.
No,
it'd be like Lawrence of Arabia.
Right. Oh my God, that's snooze. 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got over 4 hours, and
I'm gonna cut a lot of that for you.
He's cutting.
Yeah, well, I'll give him pointers of things that people would want to see, and things.
Yeah, so we're gonna show that to you, and I think, to the best of my knowledge, what's gonna happen is next week Monday when we do this show, we'll go through the intro stuff and whatever, and then we'll show you that video on the broadcast of however long it is. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere between 10 or 15 minutes, and you'll get to see how it all plays out. So the next time we run a contest like this, you'll be able to know what to expect. And we've been thinking about it. We haven't made any decisions yet, and I know people who are
still recovering from this one, and right. So is Rhett, and I'm sure Misty is too.
Rhett said he slept for 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, nobody had any sleep, but it was exciting. Lots of adrenaline going on.
Yeah, a lot. And yeah, so we talked about it.
We also fed.
We fed everybody too, which was nice.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't just champagne, but
no, no, she did get food, and she got back into town. What, about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, something like that. So it was a full day. I mean, that's a full day. But yeah, so we've talked about what we're going to do for the next one, or if we are going to do the next one, and obviously, as you can tell. As you hear this, and for those of you who watch this all happen, it, we didn't really cherry pick, exactly, what we were looking for. It was pretty much a random choice. And I think maybe what we'll do the next time, is we'll have people enter by sending in pictures or nominating people, kind of like that TV show What Not to Wear used to do, where people would nominate people that had horrible wardrobes and hair and whatever, and then they go in, right?
Makeover.
Yeah. Which hey, there's a side note. I actually know Nick Arojo and Ted Gibson. Yeah, they know me.
Yes,
they do.
You're besties. You're besties.
We're not besties, but they know me. They do. But anyway, just side note on that show. But we'll probably do that. No, you didn't. So,
of course I did.
I should tell the story how I met Ted Gibson.
He always forgets. All of a sudden it becomes
Ted
his story.
Ted Gibson actually takes my calls, which is really interesting.
Yeah. And how did you meet Ted Gibson? Hello.
I can't tell. I'll have to save that for an Ask Me Anything, because that's a little awkward of how I met him.
Yes, but you would not have met any of these people if you weren't.
Oh, if you knew the real story about how I met him, you'd be mortified. Do you guys remember how I used to do live videos with to show you guys the hair shows? That's kind of how I did it. But I'll tell you some other time. I'll tell you how.
And how did you get into the hair shows?
It wasn't so much the hair show where it happened. Anyway, so I think we're going to look for somebody that's got really, that could really use a curl makeover. But we'll see. We've got to talk about it a little more and kind of do a little recap between all of us that were involved, and make a decision about how it worked, what we thought, what went right, what went wrong, what could go better, what was too good, stuff like that.
What was too good?
Well, probably my drive from the airport, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it made Rhett sick to his stomach. Nobody had an appetite.
Moving on. So that's that. Anyway, so yeah, be here next week, Monday. We'll show you that, as long as all the editing's done, and you guys will get to see it. So anyway, all right, you want to get into some questions, or you got anything else you want to talk about?
Yes. I think that's it for now. We should answer some questions, because this is a curly support group, which we, you don't really get into explaining that for the newbies. So I like to say it's like AA for curly hair. So we're your curl counselors. We try to help guide you in your curl journey. A lot of people trying to embrace their curls for the first time, not really knowing where to turn or what to do, what products to use. So we try to help answer all those questions and guide you along the way.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Yeah. So, all right, so let's get into some questions. The first one is, I'm loving the curly girl process. One thing I'm not 100% sure about is the gel. I've been using the blue LA Looks gel. Do you have any suggestions on alternative gels or creams? Because my hair seems dry, stringy, and greasy with the LA Looks gel. Maybe too much protein? My hair is very thin and fine. Any thoughts on that? She's using an LA Looks gel, and she's relatively new to the curly girl process, but she feels that it's dry, stringy, and greasy when she uses that gel. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm wondering what other products she's using along with that. But the first thing, of course, off the top of my head, which, there's a difference. We talked about this in one of our shows. The LA Looks is a store-bought brand, so that's a cheaper.
And it's a low end.
Yep,
It's a
a
low end.
low-end gel. So there probably is alcohol in there. There's fillers in there. There's, ingredients that are not going to be beneficial for their hair. They're actually going to, they can be drying.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's alcohol in there, but it's. I mean, by the price point, I mean the quality of ingredients is super
There's
low.
plastics in there for
Super
sure.
low.
So, if you
Hidden.
haven't, yeah.
Hidden.
So there's just all kinds of fillers. There has to be at that price point. And, there's a niche for that.
Absolutely.
There's people that's all that they can afford.
Absolutely. I was one of them.
Yeah, but that's the difference then between a store-bought, retail, lower-end quality and a professional quality product. So I always like to recommend the professional products because I'm a professional working behind the chair, and that's what you're going to achieve your best results with. The Raw Curls, the Diva, the Weed Ads, the Curlisto,
Jesse's stuff.
Jessica Curl.
Matter of fact, how about that? Could that be a good
I
one?
said that, yeah, Diva, yep,
Jesse's got one
There's
up here.
lots of other products out there that are a salon quality brand that are going to be better and give better results.
Yeah. Let me ask a question about this. What about, she says her hair is very thin and fine. Do you think maybe she shouldn't be using a gel and should be trying a mousse as an alternative?
No, well, not necessarily. A mousse is going to be softer. It's going to make the hair fuller. It can help expand and fluff the hair, but it's not going to give you that hold and curl formation that you're going to get with a gel. So it depends on the look that she's trying to get. So, but it is kind of interesting that she says it looks greasy. So maybe she feels like it's more of a wet look. That's more wet looking is what I'm trying to figure out.
And that happens a lot when we get questions. It happens a lot that there's not maybe quite enough information to give a really good detailed answer. So
because that's the only thing I can think of that she's feeling it looks greasy, is maybe it's wet looking and hard and crunchy. She didn't mention that, but that would be common with a brand like that. But I like to use the Raw Curls Firm Gel on my hair because I get the strongest curl definition and the longest lasting curl where I can get 3 to 4 days. And I was just sharing that with Misty, it was, in fact. And I used a combination. She has finer hair. And she was used to using the Diva gel. It was a Diva Stronghold gel. And because she had a mix of products, so that's I was just trying to think of it, but I'm pretty positive her gel was the Diva one. And so anyway, on her, I did use, just for the fun of it, a mousse and then the firm gel over it. But, that softens that gel a little bit. So I told her to get 3 and 4 day curls for sure. She could just use the gel by itself. And we don't need, with the Raw Curls products, you don't need a filler. She was asking about that. We're filling the hair with the water, with conditioner, and then sealing the moisture, all that moisture in with the gel. So, it's not necessary to put a filler on first before using the gel because she was under that understanding.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
Not, at least with our product, that's not necessary.
Okay.
But I was going to say, too, even within professional products, there's different price points. So you're going to get, some that are slightly more affordable to, very high end.
Really, yeah, to really expensive stuff. Yeah, there's a pretty big window.
Yeah.
Okay. Melanie, any thoughts on using baby shampoo instead of a sulfate-free shampoo for curly hair? Since it must be gentle, is it the same thing? So I guess the question is baby shampoo the same as a sulfate-free shampoo for curly hair? Too general a question?
I don't have a baby, so I don't use baby shampoo, and I haven't looked at it. But off the top of my head, the last time I did look at a baby shampoo, I do remember thinking that they used. That they did not use sulfate in there, but that could vary between brands. I think it was a similar cleansing agent to what we I may have
Yeah,
been
that's
looking,
a real general
I'm trying to
statement,
remember if I
because,
was looking at an organic one. That's what I'm kind of not remembering fully. I
don't know. Maybe we'll have to.
I'll
I mean,
have
the
to
big
pull
one,
one
of
out.
course, everybody knows is Johnson's. I don't know.
What is that? No tears or something?
Yeah, no more tears.
No more
Which
tears.
we could have. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, there's a numbing agent
There's
in there.
a numbing agent in a chemical
like it
in
does-
there. Right. It's not because the product's really super clean, or chemical free. The reason that it's no more tears is they put a numbing agent in it for so when it gets into the baby's eyes, it doesn't sting them because they can't feel it because it's numb. It's not funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny.
But I have to look, but I do believe that it was sulfate free. Would I recommend that? I wouldn't. Is it okay to use? I guess so. I can't talk super intelligently about it until I have a bottle in front of me where I can actually look at the ingredients. But, I don't think it's going to be the best thing for curls, but it's not going to be the worst thing either.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a good general answer.
We'll come back to that. I'll go and look at a bottle.
Okay, let's go to another one. Melanie, why must this transition phase be so difficult? She's obviously transitioning from not being a curly girl to being a curly girl. Most days are still bad hair days. Ugh. I'm also growing out a bob cut, so my layers are awkward right now. I don't want to keep trimming them as I'd like medium length hair. Thanks for listening. Do you have any suggestions, Melanie?
Well, being a part of this group should help because I know I don't know.
Oh, our Facebook group?
Yeah, of this curly support group. Absolutely. So people can, help along the way, whatever, if you say exactly she's not really saying what she's struggling with because I don't find it that difficult. When you find the right products and you find the right knowledge and you get the right haircut, she obviously hasn't had a curly cut. It's not just about cutting it shorter. It's just getting the right shape in the hair. So maybe that's a big part of her problem, I'm guessing. But a lot of people have that fear when they're, thinking about a haircut, and when I talk to them, I have to explain that it's not necessarily about cutting it shorter. We don't have to make it shorter, but I can still put a better shape in there so that it works easier for the curls and that it looks better during the transition time. So,
Okay.
yeah, but that's what I always say. The right cut and the right products are definitely key.
That's the key. What is she trying to do?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a napkin?
I don't have a napkin. Sorry. No, she's got runny nose.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go. Boy, we've got some really, really decent questions this week. So I'm going to sort through a little bit. Melanie, how do I know if I need to do the big chop? How do I know that my hair is damaged enough to have to do it? I'd hate to go bald, but my curls aren't making any progress, in my opinion. My curls are 4B, 4C, or I should say type 4B, 4C. So she's got a tight ethnic island type curl, the way it sounds. What do you think? What do you think? How do you tell? How do you make this decision or determination?
Well, that's just kind of a personal decision. And, we've talked about that in classes before, a lot of classes that I've taken. I mean, it's not like you have to do a big chop in order to embrace your curls. I think people, and this is where, there's a lot of factors that come into play, but it's really a personal decision whether you're ready or not. I mean, you don't have to cut all your curls off. You can try just cutting a little at a time, because especially curls like that are going to take a long time to grow back in. They really have a tight spring factor.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you have to shave your head. It's just getting, again, the right products to be using in the hair. But if the hair is super damaged, I mean, let's face it, if you've done relaxers your whole life and, the hair is super damaged, level 5 porosity, I consider, where there's breakage, then that hair is not going to, get curl back, and it's not going to look good either because it's fried hair. So, that I guess would be a determining factor. If your hair is super damaged, it's just to the point of breakage, then you do need to cut that portion of the hair off. But it's not like everybody has to do this big chop.
Okay. Yeah, it's very, very, very common, I think, misconception that they do. You know, another thing that you just brought up that I find interesting too is I never hear anybody else talk about level 5 porosity other than you. Usually they'll talk about level, up to level 4 porosity, but nobody really talks about 5. Any idea why or what that is? Or
well, probably because in this group because that comes from the hair color world. And so I've talked about that before, where in the curly world where people, or just hair in general, people are talking about porosity in general, can be a little different from how we analyze porosity for coloring the hair. And that comes from being American Board certified. It's actually a level system that they created in order to determine the porosity of the hair and the damage to the hairs, because it's going to affect how it absorbs color or takes color, or how you should approach color. But so that is a level system from 1 to 5, and 5 being the worst.
Okay. All right. Well, that explains that.
Yeah. So probably not most people know that.
Yeah. So unless you were a professional in the industry, you probably wouldn't know that.
Even most professionals in the industry wouldn't know that unless they're American Board certified. So ABCH Board certified hair colorist.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Melanie, with all your experience, do you think that Viviscal or collagen pills, or even the simple hair, skin, and nail pill formulas are truly beneficial to hair growth?
Absolutely, yes. So there's lots of supplements. First of all, your diet is going to be important for, the hair and the condition of it, the growth of it is going to come from within. And then, adding to that, just like you would your diet, supplementation is only going to be beneficial. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Melanie, I saw that you had a few days off this week. How many days did you go without washing your hair? What did you do this week?
Oh, how did they know that? Were you posting?
Everybody knows what we're doing.
Oh,
our lives are on camera.
Okay, so that was going to be one of my fun facts, that I actually had a vacation.
Okay. Yes.
Just for a few days.
We were supposed to go to Spain. We were supposed to spend a couple of weeks in a Spanish villa that some friends of ours rented for a couple of months this summer and invited us to. And Melanie's mom got ill, and that kind of changed things. So she spent a lot of time with her mom over the last couple of months, at least the last couple of months. And we ended up putting that vacation off. So
yeah, but then I needed my recovery time, because those vacations were sleeping in a hospital 24/7 is not exactly relaxing.
In a hospital chair.
Yep. And then also, getting 1 hour of sleep, and then making 3 trips of 6 hours at a pop, driving back and forth to the hospital is not exactly relaxing. So I, instead of going to visit my mom this time, I decided that we needed to rest and recuperate and rejuvenate. And so, but anyway, to answer your question, the same that I would go, during a work week. I may not, I usually wash every 3 to 4 days, depending on what I have going on, what I'm doing. And it was the same on vacation as well, by the 3rd or 4th. And actually, I had brought this up to Ken when we were away, because we did go on a boat ride, and
on the saltwater.
On the saltwater. And that is definitely a challenge for curly hair, because there just doesn't seem to be a product that really helps to control, when your hair is whipping in the wind and the salty, humid air, then you start to get the frizzies. So, of course, I can refresh with the Raw Curls Anti-Frizz, but it just got me thinking, it's got my wheels turning. I really would like to create something that would help for walking on the beach. And that wind is what does it. Being on a boat, combined with the humid and salty air, it just affects our curls, and not in a good way. So anyway, sometimes actually, most times that's how I end up developing and creating things is out of necessity. So I'm working on that one. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, it's the same. I still wash my hair every 3 to 4 days.
Okay, good. All right, let's do just a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up. And hang out until the end, because I got something for you.
Oh.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Should we tell them about the scorpion?
Oh,
that was going to
that's
be
a
my
fun
other
fact.
fun
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell the fun fact. Go ahead. You can tell the story.
Okay. So I know I've heard that we have scorpions here in Florida, but I've never honestly seen one.
Me neither.
And so Ken and I were at lunch at an exclusive club on an island.
On a private island.
On a private island. And I kept looking at this thing on the floor. And I actually,
beautiful old building.
Yeah,
early,
like
late
a
1800s.
historical
Gorgeous.
building. And honest to God, I kept thinking, I'm like, it looks like a little turd, like one of my dog's turds. You know, I was like, there's a little turd on the floor. And I kept looking at it, and nobody's saying anything. No, everybody's just walking by it. And so after nobody was in the room, I said, Ken, what is it? It looks like there's a little turd on the floor, you know.
I thought it was like a plastic toy, like, you see those army men. And
yeah, it was a transformer.
I'd swear I've actually seen plastic toys of scorpions like that. I'd swear I've seen it before. But
well,
anyway,
you couldn't tell it was.
You couldn't tell it was on the
like
carpet.
This brown log about
this long, maybe
3 inches long.
Yeah, about like that.
Yeah, because it was just like a rectangular, like a log.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of those logs that we used to build, like the log homes with, like
Lincoln
Lego,
logs.
the Lincoln logs. Yeah, and anyway, so Brainiac goes over and kicks it. And then it unfolds like a transformer.
I didn't realize it was alive.
The tail came up and it started walking.
I didn't realize
and I was
it
like,
was alive.
oh my God, it's a scorpion. It came to life and it was trying to get us. Oh, it was crazy.
Nobody was more surprised than me.
It was like, oh my God.
Tell them how it ended,
I took a
though.
picture. I took a picture of it.
Tell them how it ended. Yeah. I didn't look so macho after that.
Yeah. So he ran like a little girl to get the waitress.
The little 19-year-old blonde girl waitress.
The little
all
hostess.
of 98 pounds.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's like, oh, it's
no
big
deal.
And so she came over with a napkin, threw it over the top of it, and stomped on it. And that was it.
She said, oh, they come inside into the cold to die. So
apparently
it was common.
I don't know, but
I've never, as long as I've been in Florida,
Ken
I've never seen one.
was screaming. He was standing on a chair screaming.
I might have been standing on a chair, but I was not screaming. Define scream.
Oh.
Anyway, let's do another question. But it was fun. Really nice place.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Food
we had
excellent.
a really awesome.
Oh,
my
dessert.
God, my lunch,
Oh,
but
dessert.
I was so not hungry, and I was not.
We
planning
rarely
on having
get dessert. Well, rarely.
Oh my God! But then she had to go. I had to ask, of course, and then she rattled them off, and I was like, "Wait a minute, did you say red velvet donuts?" And I did like the Homer Simpson thing.
Donuts.
Right. Yeah, oh my God, my eyes were like donuts. Red velvet.
Glazed over. Get it?
Oh my gosh, glazed over. Yeah. So. I licked the plate. I would have actually ordered another plate. They were so fabulous. They came out warm. They were like the size of those mini powdered sugar donuts, the Hostess ones. And then they had a sugar coating on them, and they came on a plate with a drizzle of like vanilla cream and raspberry sauce. Oh, gosh. Yeah. To die for.
Yeah. I even ate half of one. You ate all of them.
I ate all of them.
Half of one.
I only gave them a bite. Oh my God, they were so good.
But they were really good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more question. Okay, Melanie, I'm thinking about getting my curls colored. What is the difference between highlighting and low lighting, and how do I know which I need?
Okay. So highlighting is lightening the hair. It's making it lighter. You're removing color from the hair. You're stripping the hair. So that is anytime you want to go lighter is highlighting. Low lighting is the opposite. You're going darker. So you're putting color back into the hair. And actually a combination of the two is really beautiful. That's what I do most of the time, is a combination of highlights and low lights. So, but that's the difference. Highlighting lighter, low lighting darker.
Okay. How do you know which to use and when?
Well, it depends on the look you're trying to achieve and what you have in your hair already, what's existing. So Misty came in on Saturday. Her hair was very blonde on top, and she was feeling like it was getting too solid. So we break it up with, highlights and lowlights, so you get more of a natural look. If you look at...
Does that add dimension?
It adds dimension. That's dimensional color, dimensional blonde, dimensional tones. Any of that terminology is highlighting and lowlighting, having different lightness and darkness in the hair. And if you look, I love to look at little girls with blonde hair, at their hair. That sounded weird. I love to study their hair and just look. If you notice, they have natural light and dark tones to it. It's not just one solid color. There's natural lowlights in there and natural highlights in there, and that's what makes that beautiful blonde. Or even with reds or browns, anything. It looks really nice to have a variety of colors. It's more natural.
Okay, good. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, let's wrap it up. So here's the last thing I want to give you guys before we go. Next week, we're going to start another giveaway. Another giveaway. This one's going to be a little different. I'll announce the details about it, but I'll give you guys a hint, especially you longtime people who've been watching the show from the beginning, or you've been watching, or if you watch from the very beginning days when I did them. This is going to be a really neat pack. It's going to be at least a few $100, and it's going to be a curl crap.
A curl crap?
And whatever. Well, we're going to change all that next week. Wait till you see.
Well, and having our plant, the Diva, although they've come out with a million new products, so it's hard to keep up. But as far as store-bought brands, I'm not as familiar just because I'm a professional. So, even if I didn't have the Raw Curls line, I would be talking about the professional lines that we use in the salon, whether like that used to be Pureology or Redken or
whatever,
but that's because that's what we would do. You're not going to normally recommend, other stuff.
Right. Quick reminder, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can see us on Facebook Watch. Instagram, IGTV, you can see us live there. Daily, you can catch us with the daily curly hair Q&A, and that is at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but it runs for 24 hours on the IGTV channel as well. We stream live on the Raw Curls YouTube channel, and we're available as a podcast on Stitcher, Google Play Music, iTunes, I don't know, Spotify maybe, a bunch of them. We're on a bunch of different ones. So anyway, you can catch us anywhere you want all week long. So no show this Wednesday. We're supposed to do an interview, but like I said, it got canceled. So
we're not even doing a show?
We're not going to do a Wednesday show this week, but next week we will. We'll have a guest. We'll be here Monday again, this coming Monday, with our regular half-hour show. This one, I've got just here. You guys see how many? These are all the questions I got. I haven't even got through any. We could do this for hours, right?
To go back to that comment, we'll be bringing on guests that will be talking about other products. So stay tuned.
Which we did last week.
Yeah, stay tuned because
if you didn't see that, go to our Raw Curls YouTube channel, and it might even be on our curly hair Q&A YouTube channel as well. I don't know. I'll post something about that as soon as that is up and whatever. But there you can live stream
that'll
stuff
just
there,
mix things up and be exciting to get different products, different knowledge, different experience. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So anyway,
Sorry we couldn't have Jess tonight.
guest, smash up the likes for us. That really helps us in the rankings, and give us the hearts. And we will see you next week, Monday, or we'll see you on the Daily Show.
Thanks for joining us.
Take care. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great week.